Hello there and welcome to our second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC TV. This Monday, the second day of October 2023, and these are our top stories. Tonight, the State Minister for Veteran Affairs and that of Primary Health Care preparing report on South Sudan-Uganda boundary conflicts. FDC Katonga faction issues electoral roadmap for the party structure elections. Over 700 attend the first day of the surgical camp at Mulago National Referral Hospital. And in sports, seasoned rally driver Ponciano Ruakataka, recently released from jail, is back on the racing track. Hello there and welcome once again. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma and we are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has received a special invitation to virtually participate in the Primakov Ratings International Forum to be held in Moscow, Russia from the 27th to the 28th of November 2023. Primakov Ratings International Forum brings together decision makers and representatives of various think tanks and universities from over 30 countries to engage in an intensive debate on current and future global challenges. The invitation was extended to President Museveni this afternoon at State House in Entebbe by a delegation from Russia led by Mr. Yuknin Ergeni. Now, the meeting was also attended by the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Kataha Museveni. The delegation requested President Yoweri Museveni to be a special speaker at the panel discussion on Russia-Africa, from program directives to practical results. Mr. Yuknin informed the President that the people of Russia hold him in high esteem and respect. President Museveni readily accepted to participate virtually in the conference, whose theme is Post-Globalization Horizons, saying that there is a lot in common between Africa and Russia. In the same meeting, President Museveni discussed with his guests the possibility of attracting Russian investors to Uganda. Mr. Yuknin informed President Museveni that they are interested in building a pharmaceutical factory in Uganda that will manufacture drugs. He added that they also want to put up a fertilizer plant and another modern technology factory for agro processing, especially for drying fruits. Now, the State Minister for Veteran Affairs and Primary Health Care is preparing a report on the ongoing boundary conflicts between Uganda and South Sudan. The report, once completed, will be forwarded to the President to facilitate the resolution of this pressing issue. In the other news, police have recovered a stolen gun in Otuke district that was taken by an unarmed robber. Additionally, 2 other robbers were killed in an incident in Busia. This is a roundup from today's police roundup.
A delegation led by the Minister of State for Veteran Affairs, Huda Oleru, and the State Minister for Primary Education, Moriku Kaduchu, visited Moyo and Yumbe to work towards a lasting solution to the border boundary disagreements with South Sudan.
A strong area that was agreed upon was the verification of the borderline and its demarcation.
Uganda police recovered 5 cows and a donkey in Kenya after pursuing suspected Pokot warriors who had raided Buko and allegedly shot a parish councillor.
And efforts to recover the other 3 cows were in place, but that is what was happening along our borderlines. There was a cross-border meeting by the regional security teams on both sides.
There was a firefight in Busia district, resulting in the death of 2 armed robbers during a security operation. 2 guns were recovered.
We recovered an AK-47 gun with 16 rounds, cash 21,175,000, Kenya shilling 612,000, 3 phones.
Police also recovered a gun which had been stolen from police and used by a notorious robber in Otuke.
Of course, he failed to surrender, which prompted a fire exchange. He was also put out of action. We recovered the gun with 6 rounds. He had used 24 bullets because at the time of stealing that gun, there were 30 rounds.
Meanwhile, the Immigration Department has revealed that over 10,000 passports are being held illegally by labor export companies.
Claiming that they are waiting for contracts to be given to them from the Middle East countries. We did carry out some investigation and discovered that one such company located somewhere in Kampala is actually keeping 2,000 passports in their office.
In other news, on Operation Fika Salama for September 2023, 380 drivers were captured by CCTV cameras along Kampala-Entebbe Expressway and were all issued express tickets. 472 individuals driving under the influence of alcohol were arrested, detained, fingerprinted and issued express tickets. 569 motorcycles were impounded for violating traffic regulations. Police are launching an operation to ensure every vehicle user has emergency warning signs on board. Ivan Kahwa, UBC News.
And of course, Dr. Kaduchu is State Minister for Primary Education and not primary health care. Now, Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, Katonga faction, has issued electoral roadmap for the party structure elections that will kick off on the 4th of October with party structures conferences and ends with the National Delegates Conference in March 2024. While issuing the roadmap, the FDC Katonga faction interim president Erias Lukwago urged party supporters to ignore party activities organized by the Najana Kumbi faction led by Patrick Oboy Amuriat. We have more in this story.
For the delegates conference to be convened on 15th of March.
The controversies in Forum for Democratic Change FDC party seems to attract more attention, with no remedies of seeing them drawing to a logical conclusion, as two factions of the Katonga led by Erias Lukwago and that of Najana Kumbi led by Engineer Patrick Amuriat Oboy continue to run separate activities of the party in what seems to be another boxy war that will draw battle lines among party supporters. The Katonga faction has issued a party electoral roadmap for party structures elections contrary to the plans of the legitimate party leadership at Najana Kumbi. According to the roadmap, the process will kick off on October 4th with youth and women dialogue, followed by the founders dialogue on 6th October and nationwide tours from 14th November.
As a party, we have to move to various parts of the country to do extensive mobilization. You all know the disarray and damage that the current leadership at Naja has caused to the brand. So part of the mandate that the delegates gave to the new leadership is to re-energize, to reinvigorate our party support, to go out to our supporters, to reorient them into the ideals of the FDC.
National Delegates Conference is slated for 15th March 2024, and Katonga faction interim president Erias Lukwago urged party supporters to ignore party activities organized by the Najana Kumbi faction led by Patrick Amuriat Oboy.
The Constitution is very, very clear. Article 23 provides that all members of the National Executive Committee shall be elected at a National Delegates Conference. That is Article 23, Clause 3. And in Article 28, the mandate to convene that Delegates Conference is vested in the office of the National Chairperson. So you wait for the notes that will be issued by the Ambassador Birigwa as the National Chairperson for the Delegates Conference to be convened on 15th of March. That should be very, very clear, should be made very, very clear. to members of the party. So whoever attempts to or purports to convene another delegates conference outside that framework, they are on a frolic of their own.
Lukwago says the roadmap that will last for 6 months is aimed at rejuvenating the FDC party.
A member of the FDC, you are an eminent person in the FDC, you are a leader in FDC, you are a well-wisher in the FDC, and all those who want to realign the party back to its original mission and agenda, vision, the ideals. Our day is 60th. It's a day of rejuvenation of the party. It's a rebirth of the party. Back to the roots. Back to the rails. Back to the original mission and the vision of the party. So that is the day we have set aside. All of you, please mark that the 60th. We are going to tell you the place where we are going to be.
The controversy that has torn FDC into pieces started last month after party leaders disagreed with the FDC Secretary General Nandala Mafabi and the party president Patrick Amuriat Oboy over an unknown source and amount of money that the party received during the 2021 presidential polls. Philip Aguta for UBC News in Kampala.
Thanks, Philip, for that story there. Chief Justice Alphonse Owiny-Dollo has urged the appointed judicial officers to stick to oath of office and not be intimidated by the public. He was swearing in the appointed judicial officers at the Judiciary headquarters here in Kampala. We have more in this story.
Lord, we shall have
The judiciary embarked on recruiting more judicial officers at different court levels to reduce case backlog. Last month, 5 deputy registrars, 1 assistant deputy registrar, and 2 grade 1 magistrates were recruited and have taken oath of office.
I, Nkwasiwe Ivan,
swear in the name of the Almighty God, and I'll do right to all manner of people,
without fear or favor, affection or ill will. So help me God.
The Chief Justice Alphonse Owiny-Dollo cautioned them against corruption, but to administer justice without fear and favor.
As a judicial officer, nobody, not even the Chief Justice, not even the President, certainly not the DCJ, the Principal Judge, or Chief Registrar, will tell you, this case before you, decide this way. No, that is sacrilege. So you must not fear that the Chief Justice or the Chief Registrar will not promote me. So she said, the other one is her cousin. Please let her win the case because you want a promotion. If you do that, you have breached the first rule in the oath. If you have a conscience, you're in the right place. If you do not have a conscience, think again. It's not too late.
The Deputy Chief Justice Richard Buteera asked them to execute their duties in accordance with the judiciary provisions.
You expect that they take the oath seriously, so do the same. Be honest to yourself, be honest to the oath you have taken, and commit yourself wholly for the duty you are taking up.
The Principal Judge Dr. Flavian Nzeija and the Chief Registrar Sarah Langasio had similar contributions.
The judiciary is on a transformation agenda and we have no place for any form of unprofessionalism. You must therefore not only be ready to serve above self, but also do so professionally.
I will request you to give judiciary your best. Some of you have been excelling where you have been. Maintain that same attitude of giving your best so that the judiciary can shine and deliver to the people of Uganda.
Meanwhile, the Judiciary Permanent Secretary Dr. Pasi Bigirimana has launched a book entitled Big Courts. The launch was graced by the Principal Judge Dr. Flavian Nzeija at the Judiciary headquarters in Kampala, who urged the public to promote local talents.
Local writers bring a rich tapestry of diverse perspectives to the forefront. Their experiences and insights are shaped by the very communities, cultures, and landscapes that we inhabit. When we quote our local writers, we embrace the multiplicity of voices that reflect our world.
The author, Dr. Pius Bigirimana, highlights on the book writing.
I want to encourage you people, to put something down, because you never know what you put down might be of value to some people.
Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabugode, UBC News.
Now, Kampala Capital City Authority, KCCA, is losing over 5 billion shillings due to illegal outdoor advertising, as all the billboards in the city are not in compliance. Now, the disorganized placement of billboards in Kampala has become a safety hazard to the public, leading to fatalities and injuries during heavy rainfall.
The Kampala Capital City Authority Council passed the outdoor advertising ordinance to regulate advertising in Kampala Capital City. The ordinance focuses on major advertisers based on the type of their advertisements. Nevertheless, the placement and the management of billboards in Kampala remain a challenge in maintaining an organized city. While KCCA awaits guidance from the Attorney General on the ordinance bill, the chairman of the Revenue Collection Standing Committee at the Kampala Capital City Authority, Kayamwanje, asserts that most billboards in Kampala are erected illegally.
No billboard in the city is up legally. And that's why you see that disorganization in the city. People have been sneaking around putting up billboards without the permission of Kampala Capital City Authority. So one of the first things that maybe with the new regime is going to start with, the new regular regime, is to put down all the illegal erected billboards. And then we shall go to stage 2, organizing and making sure we don't have population of billboards all over the place, scattered everywhere they shouldn't be, so that regulating now is proper and people can only put billboards in places that they should be in.
The public seeks shelter under these billboards. However, they are now collapsing. Manje attributed the hazardous effect of the collapsing billboards to the lifespan and quality of the work.
Once a billboard is erected, it should be having a lifespan for it to be replaced. A billboard should not be lasting up to 10 years. 10 years are so many. It should be lasting about 6-7 years and then it should be replaced. Well, the owner of the billboard should retain the site if he had the permission to put it up in the first place, but should replace the billboards with that old billboard with new materials. So that the billboard is not a hazard to the public.
Placement and location of billboards in Kampala will be handled when the bill is guided by the Attorney General. Justin Nakami in Kampala.
Now, mental health experts are expressing concern over the alarming rate of suicide among school-going children. Now, according to reports from the Ministry of Education, over 10 suicide cases were investigated and completed last year alone.
In trying to address the increasing cases of suicide in schools, Rotary District 9213, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, has initiated a crucial mental health awareness campaign. Grace Obalami, a founding member of the Uganda National Mental Health and Psychosocial Support Working Group, emphasized the significant gap in addressing mental health issues in schools.
According to a report that came out in 2017 by WHO, they say that there is 71% increase in epilepsy in Uganda compared from 1990 coming to 2015. And also say that 102% increase in self-harm and suicide. And I want to add that in the past 1 year after the National Working Group, according to our statistics, self-harm and suicide attempts among children has tripled. Yes. As young as age 6, we are having children 6 years attempting to take their lives.
She noted that both the government and civil society organizations have overlooked this critical matter.
But if you go within the general primary healthcare structure, there is very poor integration. The general healthcare workers do not even want to hear the word mental health. Some don't even think that it exists. So even if people go seeking for help, they are not able to be supported.
Rotary District 9213 has pledged its commitment towards supporting the Ministry of Health in enhancing access to mental health services nationwide.
As Rotarians, when we come across a problem, we don't sit back. Yeah. We swing into action. And the clubs are being encouraged as they come up with service projects to ensure that the issue of mental health wellness is addressed in all our projects.
The launched campaign aims to expand the capacity of the mental health professionals, establish community mental health centers, and introduce innovative health services to bridge geographical gaps.
We are hoping to have at least a 5 years campaign to start with. Yes, but I would also like to thank our partners because we are not experts, so we really would like to thank the partners that have agreed to work with us.
This approach underscores Rotary's dedication to promoting mental health awareness and ensuring that the resources are allocated for comprehensive mental health support.
We are going to work better in addressing the needs of our boy child. Thank you so much for honoring us and giving us the opportunity to host. We pledge our support, we pledge our commitment, we pledge all the resources.
The collaboration between Rotary District 9213 and the Ministry of Health signifies a crucial step towards addressing the mental health challenges faced by school-going children. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now, the General Court Martial in Machindie has sentenced the former SGA security supervisor Mugoya Biasali to 45 years in jail. Biasali was sentenced on his plea of guilty for murdering Sheikh Masood Mutumba in Buchiri district. The case was before the chairman of the General Court Martial, Brigadier General Freeman Robert Mugabe.
The case, which has been in the General Court Martial in Machindi for 3 years, before Chairman Brigadier General Freeman Robert Mugabe, 5 witnesses had so far testified. The prime suspect, Mugoya Biasali, was accused together with other 6 suspects of murdering Sheikh Masood Mutumba. In the trial last month, Mugoya Biasali changed his plea of not guilty. Through his lawyer, Captain Subuga Busagwa, he asked court to hand him a lenient sentence, being that he is a first-time offender. However, the prayers were objected by prosecution, led by Lieutenant Alex Lastomichian. Brigadier General Freeman Robert Mugabe has handed Mugoya Biasali a 45-year sentence of his plea of guilty.
That a sentence of 45 years imprisonment is appropriate. 6, that a period of 5 months for mitigating factors is appropriate. Therefore, after deducting a period of 3 years, 7 months and 15 days spent on remand to go for custody, and a period of 5 months for mitigating factors, this court hereby sentences you to 41 years and 15 days imprisonment. You have the right of appeal within 14 days if you are not satisfied with the decision of this court. We so rule that at Makinde.
This was the second time for Mugoya Biasali to plead guilty over the same offences. Relatives, including the wife to the deceased, Safiat Nabirie, had mixed reactions.
Bonanga we bayita bazi bona babayite kuba ndi kubona abona n'abaana zira buyambi eitaka twendalire mu mikono gyaife nze nzirage enimira abaana
kuba ye mwene bamukobye nga bwali n'abamukazi n'abaana mwenda aye ate abakazi 3 abaana 18
gobo gamba nti emyaka 4 bagiwadde omuntu kuba kumusasi ngoli yafaali mu ttaka oli tagenda kutta tulina obulumi
manyi nti bano ab'emabega abamupikiriza n'atuuka okusalawo ekyo kuba taata yali atuuse ku nkono ne basalya just $3 million ez'esatu baatunda ettaka ne bagenda ne bagula emmundu.
I request the court to see that at least these ones can be put on a serious or a very good and appreciative on our side punishment.
Ekyokubiri nakwebaza President Museveni yasalawo okubanga ayisaamu omukono mu nsonga eno okutuuka bwebeere essaawa eno nga tutaire mu kikumi kyaife ewazira nga akitwaire ku ntobo y'omutima gwe.
Sheikh Masudi Mutumba was shot dead on February 14th, 2020 at Remba Trading Center in Bujiri district, and his mother followed a land wrangle with the accused persons. Meanwhile, the same court is still proceeding with the trial within a trial case, in the trial where 22 people are accused of murdering police officers and stealing guns from different parts of the country. The accused Ogodri Godfrey is contesting the charge and caution statement in Rugubala, which was recorded from him by AI Pyorionzima Stephen. The statement, which pins Ogodri to have trained different people in Congo and Tanzania to overthrow the ruling government, it denies the language of Lugubala in which it was recorded. AIP Kasango Edward, who received Ogodri Godfrey at Kachiri police station after arrest, testified in court. Court resumed on 17th October 2023 for further hearing of the case. Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
A Rotary Club of Accra City has embarked on a countrywide campaign dubbed We Are Running Out of Trees, that's aimed at restoring indigenous Ugandan tree species. Now, through this campaign, the team has planted different local tree species in Chigo to act as a reserve center for trees in case of a shortage in different parts of the country. Their goal is to hit a 440 mark of indigenous tree species to achieve the goal of conserving the environment.
Should we run out, or should there be need within the communities or outside of Entebbe, Great Entebbe or Kampala Metropolitan, we can always have where to pick that seed. So today we're privileged to have
Itaza Development Foundation, an initiative aimed at helping the underprivileged people in Chikobe district who cannot afford basic eye care like spectacles, surgery, has organized a one-week-long free eye medical treatment in Chikobe district. The patron of the foundation, Honorable Asera Stephen Itaza, says lack of medical equipment and personnel is one of the key constraints in Uganda's public health. Now, the free medical camp is offering services like eye screening, free glasses and cataract surgery to people in the sub-counties of Bugambi and Buhimba.
Young and old. But most especially, most of the eye issues are age-related. Some of them are age-related, others are lifestyle-related. Yes? But the most prevalent cases we receive here are cataracts. Even globally, the most disturbing eye condition are cataracts. There's actually 50% we are told are cataracts. Cataracts is when the God-given intraocular lens, sometimes we call it lens, in my language we call it a kalawudi, that lens becomes opaque, it becomes old, just like any other thing. Yes, it becomes opaque. When it becomes opaque, when it becomes old, it creates a curtain, and it obstructs your vision. You can't see through it because it becomes thick. The only remedy is remove it. We remove it. Actually, the cataract, blindness due to cataracts, is called needless blindness or avoidable blindness. It is avoidable because the remedy is known. Yes, there is no medication. There is no magic. It is only one thing. You extract the malfunction lens, and then we replace it with an artificial intraocular lens, and you receive your vision.
I thought it wise to offer such a kind of package, such a kind of service to the people, so that whenever they are celebrating, it is something worth. They celebrate with happiness, with joy, as we welcome the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Now, the Bishop of Namirembe, Wilberforce Chichol Walira, stood before the congregation delivering words that resonated far beyond the walls of the school, and this was during a confirmation ceremony at the school. Take a watch.
The Bishop of Namirembe Diocese, the Right Reverend Wilberforce Chichol Walira, has led a heartfelt prayer that seemed to touch Buambo Seed school parents and children.
Children standing before you and before this congregation this afternoon, believing and trusting in you as God, omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. Grant, O Lord, that which the world cannot.
It was a moment of spiritual connection, a reminder of the divine presence guiding their path. As the bishop confirmed the students, he spoke to the finalists directly, imparting wisdom that transcended the classroom. In a touching plea, he reminded parents of their role in their children's education, emphasizing the importance of providing nourishment to ensure that young minds did not study on empty stomach. Bishop Luwalira encouraged schools to utilize their available land to develop and enhance their quality of education, recognizing the importance of holistic growth.
With the help of God, I will. With the help of God, I will. With the help of God, I will.
Can result into good yield. Lord, as long as the world exists, we know that there is a time for planting and a time for harvest. Permit these your children, Lord, to plant on the good and fruitful seed.
Abana bano abakulu b'amasomero bandibadde tebatwegayirira na kutwegayirira, abalala ne tubakaazakaaza n'okubatwala mu mbuga z'amateeka kubanga akugambye tutukole kino na kino olw'abaana. N'olwekyo Katonda atubeere. Education is an investment.
The headmaster, William Chiwanuka, shared the challenges the school faced, including a growing student body with limited infrastructure.
Workstations are still needed. A playground for promotion of games and sports. In conclusion, my Lord Bishop and Mama Faith, we sincerely thank you for joining us today.
The absence of a stadium for sports as per the new curriculum was a hurdle that they hoped to overcome with support. The chairman of the board of directors, Yoram Wanje, called upon the Namirembe Education Department to expand its team of inspectors to oversee education in the diocese effectively.
Outreach ministry eyamasomero obulabirizi buno yatandika naawe era olwanye nnyo okusembeza bishopu mu masomero ng'otandikira ku ggwe.
The students bid farewell to the bishop with a heartfelt song, thanking him for the service to Christianity and Namirembe Diocese. Jamil Sekaja, Mukwaya Benon, UBC Tonight.
We'll now take a short break and we'll be returning with the latest in business.
Sent to transport to the wrong person. Here's how to reverse it with MTN Mobile Money. Dial *165#. Select My Account. Select Initiate Reversal. You will see your last 3 transactions. Select the transaction you want to reverse. Enter your mobile money PIN and you'll get an SMS confirmation that the transaction has been blocked from being withdrawn. And that's it. Please note, only transactions that haven't been withdrawn can be reversed.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret? Haven't you heard of the parish development model PDM? Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk. No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving. Juko. I thought I was one of your friends. You are. But you left me behind. I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
So, you are ready to invest in Airtel's initial public offering? Good choice. I'm going to show you how to do it straight from your phone. First, you're going to want to make sure you have a Securities Central Depository SCD account. Dial *185*85# from your Airtel number. Choose Airtel IPO purchase from the available options. Enter your valid national identification number when prompted. Before you purchase, there are a few things you need to know. The minimum purchase is 2,500 shares. The share price is 100 Uganda shillings. Select the number of shares you wish to purchase. Choose your relevant broker for the purchase. Enter your Airtel Money PIN to confirm the transaction. Congratulations! You receive a confirmation message of your successful purchase.
Are you tired of high fees and slow transfer time when sending money? Airtel Money is here to revolutionize the way you move your money. We have revised our rates back to ground. Sending money from Airtel to other networks in Uganda, East Africa, and to the rest of the world has never been more affordable. Dial *185# and start sending money. Switch to Airtel Money today and experience unbeatable rates and top-notch services for all your local and international money transfer needs. Airtel Money, instant, secure, borderless.
Maze okuwaayo okumbaga yamwenemu
ntewera ndi kulinda ondagirire momo pay
migasta ndala mukaga 5 star 3 ash yes
maze bambuziza enter merchant code
tamu 7
emirundi esatu maze abankobye enter amount
nditamu olukumirwako
buti bambuziza pay using mobile money
mobile money
MTN Central Point
tamu 1 mobile money
buti abankobye enter pin
buti awo tamu pin yo kai pin bagisoma
onogenda tigendereire bwena
pin tibagisoma
bampereza ka message
baba ze namba ile nna mu olukumirwanga campaign yokumbaga ya mwene
aiti kubula ko ebitano dede basala
mama mbwe bya mama pe bya kusasa
alikwenda kuiba wama byabwerere.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
The Woman Trade Fair for this year brings you the Black Friday earlier than ever before. Get ready to buy what you need at a 50% discount. Home appliances like fridges, cookers, TVs and so much more. Boda bodas, tukutukus, soap, detergent, cooking oil, sugar, rice and so much more. Don't miss to get what you've been longing for at a discounted price of up to 50% at the Woman Trade Fair Black Friday from 3rd to 10th October. Proudly sponsored by Total Energy, Science, Technology and Innovation Secretariat, Stanbic Bank, Uganda Breweries Limited, Tembo Seals, Uganda Bati, Simba Automotives, and Node Group.
Welcome back, and this is our second and final edition of News Tonight here on UBC. The second day of October 2023. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Business news now, and Uganda Development Bank has announced a 150 billion shillings financial commitment for the Ugandan Contractors Financing Initiative. Now, this initiative provides affordable financing to Ugandan contractors, thereby addressing the need for working capital.
The Ugandan Contractors Financing Initiative represents a significant opportunity for contractors to access affordable financing and drive infrastructure development in Uganda, ultimately benefiting local communities and the nation as a whole. Patricia Ojagole, the Managing Director of UDB, emphasizes the challenges faced by Ugandan contractors in accessing affordable working capital and the negative impact it has on project performance and business growth.
The bank, through the Ugandan Contractors Financing Initiative, which we are launching today, has committed 150 billion shillings towards deliberately supporting and enabling the growth of Ugandan contractors. The initiative aims at providing timely, cheap, patient financing as well as favorable terms for accessing bid bonds and guarantees.
Under this initiative, Ugandan contractors can expect timely access to cheaper capital, lower appraisal fees, grace periods of up to 12 months, and competitive interest rates. Additionally, they will gain access to bid bonds and guarantees at favorable terms, including low commission rates and consideration of outstanding payment certificates as security.
Just hope that when depending on the expression, we hope that you see whether you are eligible and apply. It should not really be guesswork. Sometimes you guess, you know you don't qualify, but you still apply, thinking that there probably can be a shortcut through which you get through. I don't think that will happen. This year in UDBL, we try to be as objective as possible. We don't do shortcuts.
UDB has partnered with the Uganda Institution of Professional Engineers and the Uganda National Association of Building and Civil Engineering Contractors to ensure the success of this initiative.
The initiative has come timely when the Ugandan contractors' space is dwindling consistently due to limited financing capacity to compete with their foreign counterparts.
Issues of delayed payments, failure to perform contracts, even doing substandard work because of inadequate financing. So with this enabler, with this affirmative action in place, we believe a lot of good things are going to happen in terms of the infrastructure space.
The Managing Director of UDB, Patricia Ojagole, asked Ugandan contractors to embrace this initiative as a pivotal step in reshaping financing for development in the country. Sandra Kahunde, Robert Katamba, News Tonight.
Now, the micro-scale irrigation project in Butagaya sub-county has benefited local farmers. Now, the availability of solar and petrol-powered technology has facilitated water supply to gardens to enhance agricultural activities in the area. And as we hear from our reporter, Ivan Kahwa, this development has transformative power in innovative agricultural practices for the community.
Damusanga Robert resides in Butagaya sub-county, Chibundaire village, and operates a pioneering micro-scale irrigation project for sustainable farming practices. This initiative involves a water tank connected to a network of pipes and taps to supply gardens with water.
President yatuwa ebintu bino kwekulankulanya kuva mu bwavu. Nasima ekidiba kyange mwenga tola gaida mpampu. Kati wenga tola okuida mpampu, pampu yatandika okupampinga. Gota pampu yatandika okusavinga in Italy.
And this is a demonstration where we are demonstrating all the technologies that the other farmers who want to get equipment under this project can be able to come and see and view and then decide on which particular technology to be able to take up. For example, we have a solar-powered system, but we also have a petrol-powered system. Then we have the water-conserving systems, like the drip and the rain, but we also have the drag hose. So in these around 2 acres, they have set up points where the host farmer can be able to draw water.
This project also serves as an educational platform.
Era buti luvannyuma myezi 3 tukungula embeera eyakasana yona nebaawo ifo tukola ki tulima bulime abantu baidano basomera kino ekibiina kino tuli abantu 20 bona bawandika tulime ekitabo kyaife.
Government has invested 25 million shillings to guarantee year-round farming for farmers.
They have been lacking this technology. And since we have given them money for PDM, they are going to improve on their agricultural skills. So in general, I want to appreciate that the community of Jinja, whatever is brought by government, as long as it is driving them out of poverty, they welcome it. And this kind of project still is aligned to the Vision 2040, which states that the government's aim is to help the farmers who are in peasantry society into a modern society, and which, if you look at this farmer, is able to transform his life, is able to educate his children, and is also able to meet the utility bills in terms of health and in terms of what? Feeding.
Government will allocate 75% for solar and 25% for petrol-powered equipment, with farmers sharing 25% for solar and 75% for petrol. This joint investment ensures ownership and responsibility within the farming community in achieving sustainable agricultural practices. Ivan Kahua, UBC News in Jinja District.
Now, in a groundbreaking move, Operation Wealth Creation has launched an ambitious coffee cultivation program in Ruchiga district, sparking a significant transformation in the local coffee farming landscape. Jimmy Baluku, the General Manager of Uganda Coffee Development Authority for Southwestern Uganda, urges coffee farmers in the Kigezi sub-region to enhance the quality of their coffee to meet international standards.
This initiative came to realization during an event where 2 million coffee seedlings found their way into the hands of farmers in Ruchiga district, specifically in Nyabuyungu village, Chibanda parish, Kamwezi sub-county, courtesy of the Kigezi Farmers Transformation Initiative. Baluku revealed that Uganda is a key player in the global coffee market, exporting 6.25 million bags of coffee, generating a revenue of $790 million US.
Coffee has been one of the major players in the economy as one of the major cash crops. Currently, Uganda exports 6.25 million bags, that is 60 kilogram million bags, which earns Uganda about $790 million.
According to Baluku, the distribution of these 2 million coffee seedlings among local residents has the potential to contribute 67 bags of 60 kilogram coffee each to national coffee exports.
The 2 million coffee seedlings that are here have the potential of contributing 67 bags of 60 kilogram bags to the national coffee exports. In terms of production, we might estimate about 4 million kilograms of coffee that will be produced from the million seedlings that are being distributed today. In terms of money, we should be able to talk about 60 billion shillings.
Dr. Slivia Arinetwe, the director of the Kigezi Farmers Transformation Initiative, who played a pivotal role in securing these coffee seedlings from Operation Wealth Creation, explained that the vision is to ensure every household in the district receives these seedlings.
So that is the genesis, and when we came back, we had to do a research, and we decided to go for coffee because we know what coffee means in this country, and we were guided by the experts.
Anojoram Basheja, the director of Operation Wealth Creation for Western Region, expressed optimism that the adoption of coffee cultivation by residents would lead to poverty alleviation.
Has been done well,
people have been trained, people here, they got training, and if they follow what they learned and the coffee seedling they have received, definitely things will be well.
Some of the farmers appreciated the move to introduce massive coffee growing.
I mean for planting these Arabic seedlings, I have already prepared the land. I'm set. Even today they have finalized with the preparations of making the pits, blah blah blah. So with effect from tomorrow, I will be able to plant the same.
Hello, Mom. How did you sleep? How is Salongo? Oh, Mommy, how is Grandma? And Simba, the dog, yeah, the funny one.
Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel Bona Voice Bundles. Dial *100*1#, select Call Bona to choose bundles from as low as 1,000 shillings from daily, weekly, monthly, or bundles that don't expire. Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel. A reason to imagine.
Enjoy the true Ugandan coffee experience as we commemorate the rich legacy of Uganda's Arabica coffee this International Coffee Day. The Coffee Day celebration will be held on the 5th of October 2023 at Agri Evolve Limited in Nyabirongo Parish, Kisinga Town Council in Kasese District, under the theme Celebrating Arabica Coffee from the Foothills of Mount Rwenzori. This event is organized by Uganda Coffee Development Authority and Uganda Coffee Federation with support from Agri Evolve, USAID, Feed the Future, the European Union, Private Sector Foundation Uganda, Rainforest Alliance, Kenya Ports Authority, and EcoBank.
Sports news now, and we begin with Motor Rally, where 30 rally drivers are lined up for the upcoming Gomba Sembabule Championship on the 20th of this month. Now, so far, seasoned driver Ponsiano Rwakataka, who has been out of action for some time, is back into contention.
Seasoned rally driver Posian Rakataka, who was recently released from jail, is back on the racing track. Posiano says he missed out on years without racing, believing he would try his best to catch up with the big guys in the industry. He has been lined up to race in the upcoming Gomba Sembabule rally that has recently been included on the national rally calendar. So far, 30 drivers have confirmed the 20th October race. Plascon is sponsoring Rwakataka in all the remaining rallies this year.
We want to support different sports personalities, and we have been trying to basically look at teams which are struggling to find sponsors. And when he approached us through Daniel, and then we thought, we have never actually done anything for the motocross. So we said it's a good time to do something. And he's such a talented sports person. So we tried our best whatever we could do.
At the same event in industrial area in Kampala, the 12th edition of the Paint and Win campaign was launched. At least 2 billion shillings has been earmarked for customers to win prizes ranging from cash to motorbikes in the campaign that will run for 10 weeks.
And that has been the whole aim, though we are sponsoring the national cricket team and the She Cranes. But again, She Cranes, we started supporting them when they actually needed funds. So that has been the whole aim. And again, any sports which requires some funding and there is some very good talent, we would like to showcase that because it also puts Uganda on the map.
Plascon has partnered with Uganda Sports Press Association, Rugby Mongers, the national netball team, the Cricket Cranes, among others. Ngabo Emon, reporting for IBIS TV.
Golf now, and the Power 72 Uganda Golf Club Chitante will next week start hosting the Uganda Open Golf Championship. Now this, according to our reporter, will last 3 weeks.
Uganda's most prestigious golf championship, the Uganda Open, is back and starts next week with the juniors category at the Power 72 Uganda Golf Club Kitante.
And a lot of preparation has been made to ensure that we present a course in very good condition. Quite a lot of money was invested to purchase equipment to ensure that we present the course.
The juniors will be followed by the Ladies Open, Amateur Open, with the Professional Open, whose winner takes 21 million, ending the 3 weeks golf extravaganza.
As we set off with the juniors very soon, the experience will be great. Of course, I don't want to forget that Uganda Golf Club, through the ladies section, felt it prudent that they give that experience to the ladies. So the fun begins this Thursday, where we're going to have the Ladies Open.
It is expected to attract competitors from across the world.
Uganda Golf Open, this year's named Johnny Walker Uganda Open Championship, is the biggest and the longest event, I think, in the history of golf.
This year's event has more sponsors, highlighted by Uganda Breweries Limited, who through their Johnny Walker brand have injected 410 million shillings.
Johnny Walker is renowned for its commitment to delivering big flavors like Tennessee. And we come with grandeur this time. We've been here with some beer brands. We still have Tusker Malt on board, but we decided that Johnny Walker and his grandeur becomes part of the Johnny Walker Uganda Golf Open 2023.
The Uganda Open started in 1932 and has been played all through, save for during the World Wars and in 1979 and 1980s due to insurgency in Uganda. Last season's Amateur Open winner was Uganda's Andrew Sechibeja, who beat a strong field that included players from Sweden, Kenya, Rwanda and Tanzania. Report compiled by John Barnes Sentamu.
And that story brings us to the end of this second and final edition of News Tonight, the second day of October 2023. But before we leave you, let's have a recap of our top stories. In our top stories tonight, a State Minister for Veteran Affairs and Primary Education preparing a report on Uganda-South Sudan boundary conflicts. FDC Katonga faction issues electoral roadmap for the party structure elections. Over 700 attend the first day of the surgical camp at Mulago National Referral Hospital. And in sports, seasoned rally driver Ponciano Rwakataka, recently released from jail, is back on the racing track. And that's all we had time for. Thank you so much for having kept us company. My name is Rukidi Edward Kijanangoma. Wishing you a blessed night, but I'll leave you with Mr. Ainebiona Jasper with the weather forecast for tomorrow.
Good evening. Welcome once again to the weather report brought to you by the Uganda National Meteorological Authority. In the morning, most parts of the country had sunny intervals, and later in the afternoon, cloudy conditions developed. When we take a look at the satellite image taken, the rain belt has been pushed westward toward our country, and that's why we're having a reduction in rainfall over some parts of the country. Tomorrow morning, light rains are expected in Kampala and Masaka, while the rest we do expect sunny intervals. When you go to the western parts of the country, Jinja and Tororo, light rains are expected, while Sooti, sunny intervals are expected. Western stretch, Mbara is expected to have light rains, while Kabale and some parts like Kasese and Masindi, sunny intervals are expected. In the northern parts of the country, sunny intervals are expected, and apart from Alua, light rains are expected. Central parts of the country, we do expect a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius, and in Masaka it will be 27 also, while in Kasongola a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius is expected with sunny intervals. Eastern parts of the country, Jinja, a high of 29 degrees Celsius is expected, while Tororo also a maximum of 29 degrees with sunny intervals, and in Soti it will be quite hot though with light rains with a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius. When we go to the western stretch, Kabale, it's quite cold with a maximum of 24 degrees Celsius with light rains, while in Mbalala it is sunny intervals with a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius, and in Masindi it is also hot with a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius. Northern parts of the country, Lila is expected to have a maximum of 30 degrees Celsius, while Gulu also is expected to have a maximum of 30, which is quite hot there, and also in Kotido, a high of 29 degrees Celsius is expected with light rains. When we go to the world cities, we do expect New York City to be sunny with a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius, and in Dubai it is quite hot with a high of 38 degrees Celsius, while cloudy conditions are expected with a high of 31 degrees Celsius, and in Paris, light rains are expected with a low of 20 degrees Celsius. Thank you so much for watching the weather report. For more information, you can contact us on our website. Good evening.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.